How did my week go? Well, I've learned a lot of things about myself, a lot of things that were kind of a rude awakening, and a lot of things that I'm happy with, and a lot of things I'm like, oh my God, those things are still there. Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Tony and I am on a journey to lose 80 pounds. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and push the notification bell to get future uploads. I am currently doing low carb in conjunction with 5 milligrams now, 5 milligrams of Mounjaro in conjunction with low carb. So I am eating low carb, but I have the help with Mounjaro to help with the food noise and among other things on there. But I wanted to do this video this week to explain that Mounjaro doesn't fix everything. Absolutely not. And make sure you stay to the end. I'm going to be doing some bonus tips on low carb and how to get through to your week, how to start, where to go from there. I know there's a lot of confused people out there that are confusing low carb with keto. And I'm here to tell you that keto and low carb are not one and one. So the first thing we're going to go into is how do you determine your hunger values, or basically the difference between hunger and emotional eating. With me, on my journey, I know emotional eating is based on what I'm feeling that day, how I'm going to actually dictate my day, and how I'm going to eat that day. So basically, I start off the day. If I am an emotional eater, and just because I'm on Mounjaro doesn't mean I'm not still an emotional eater. Still weigh myself every day. There's a lot of habits and things that I do on a daily basis that make me realize before the 22 pounds on some of the habits that I was doing that were not very good for me at all. So the difference between hunger eating and emotional eating. So emotional, like I just said, it goes based on your feelings and what your stress levels that day. If you have a lot of cortisol going through your body at that time, if you have a stressful job, that's emotional eating. Hunger is, for me, I only eat when I'm hungry. If I wake up and I'm not hungry that morning and I want to fast till noon, then I will go ahead and fast till noon. And then I will eat. And that's how I base my day with my hunger. So after I eat at noon, my low carb meal, and then if I'm hungry later on, I will either have a snack, dinner, and a small dinner at that. Now, I don't ever eat past 7. I know there's some days that, we're all human. We will go past 7 some days because I work evenings. So sometimes the hunger or the boredom eating comes creeping in. I'm still human. I think some people have this perception on, if you're on Mounjaro, that it's going to fix all of your problems, all of your cravings, which it does. It does help with that. And it has a lot of benefits. I am very, very blessed to be able to be on Mounjaro. It has helped me so much with a lot of different things on my journey of losing weight. But it does not fix everything because I'm still that boredom eater. I'm an emotional eater. I'm a stress eater. So everything in my life beforehand was, evolved around what I was going to eat that day. So I would plan. A lot of people don't know. They're like, what are you talking about? Food noise. What do you mean when you say I have no more food noise? Unless you've had food noise and then it's gone, that is the only way I knew that I had it was when it was gone. I never realized how much focused and determined I was on a daily basis on focusing so much on what I was going to eat that day. It's unbelievable how much thought we put in to food because it's so important to eat nutrition, but it was so important in my daily activities, my daily emotional way about me, and it had full control of me. So what I am doing now is I am not so focused on the number. I'm more focused on measurements and if I'm losing inflammation in my body. That is what I am focused on. If I wake up hurting, I know that day before I must have eaten something that my body is just like, there was more carbs in that than your body can handle. I cannot handle a lot of carbs. I can't handle a lot of high fat either, but I do when I'm eating, when I say nutritional dense foods, I mean nutritional dense. Avocados are extra virgin olive oil is high in fat, good fats, sardines, even tuna, salmon, I'll put a list below of really good fats that you can put into your diet. Now I try to include good fats in with every meal because what it does is, and I'm coming to determine this, is that when I put fat, not only does it fill me up, and keep me full for a very long time, it actually helps with my insulin levels. And it actually makes the food, whatever you're combining with the fat, it actually makes your insulin levels not rise so much. So when I don't have that inflammation, I can do more. I can walk more. I can, work out more. I can go shopping without hurting. I can do everyday activities without hurting so much. And that's what inflammation does. I know with me, if I wake up that morning, like I said, and I'm hurting, I know automatically, I know my body that much that I know my insulin level or my inflammation's up and my body's out of whack. So basically, I know that day I'm going to spend the whole day trying to get my inflammation down. That's just the way it is with me. I am also doing intermittent fasting, if you guys are familiar with that. Yes, I am doing intermittent fasting anywhere from 18 to 20 hours a day for the fast. And then I have my windows, either 6 hours, 4 hours. I will eat within that window and then I will stop. I drink about 64 ounces of water a day. I try to get I've got this large 32 ounce cup that I fill twice a day. I drink that and and then I have some water that I put by my bed. So whenever I wake up in the middle of the night, I take a drink. So I do have an app that I have that I track my water with. And I have the Libre 3 here, which I use for the glucose monitor, the continuous monitor. I use that to just track how my body reacts to foods and stress and sleep, just all of it. I mean, I'm continuously looking at it. I'm not obsessed with it. Well, maybe I am a little bit obsessed with it right now, but it is so helpful. If you guys can get a Libre 3, I actually got it through my doctor. She sent the prescription over to the Walmart pharmacy, and I just paid out of pocket. My insurance actually covered just a small portion of it, but I'll take $30 of the coverage. So it averages around $70 a month of where you get their sensors. You have to do it every 2 weeks. So yeah, and that's been so helpful. It's been an actual eye opener for me. Also, do not forget your electrolytes while you're fasting, especially if you're walking or you're doing workouts like I walk. about an hour and a half a day is what I walk with my dog. And so don't forget to put, like, if you wake up and you're on low carb or Mounjaro or Ozempic, or any of those, make sure you put a little bit of pink salt or some kosher salt in with some water. Not a lot, just, if you wake up with a headache, that is the first indication that you need electrolytes, is that you wake up with a headache. Put a little bit of salt and water and drink that, and you will be amazed on how your headache goes away and how good you feel, especially if you're going through, you start your low carb and you're starting out and you're thinking, I'm just not getting enough liquids, I'm not getting enough. That's when the headache comes in and you're going through that transition of burning fat versus using carbs as energy. You're using your fat on your body to use that as energy. So that's where that comes from. I also walk while I am fasting. So that burns a lot more calories, burns a lot more fat, and it helps so much with your energy levels. Now, I was when I first started doing this, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be so weak going out there without a breakfast. You know what I mean? That first initial food of the day, I always thought I was going to just absolutely die if I did not get something in my stomach before I take a walk. Now, if you feel nauseous or something like that, yes, of course, but I guarantee the electrolytes will help you more than anything. But I'm telling you, you'll burn, I think it's like 1,000 or 2,000. I'll look it up, but I'll put it on the screen here. More than if you do your workout versus not on a fast, and it all determines on what you eat the night before and how you're going to feel the next day. So kind of keep that in mind. So we're to the bonuses, because I have plenty here. So when you're starting low carb, make sure you trust the process. Now, don't do it for 2 weeks. Put your all into it because it is so worth it. Ask anyone that has done low carb. They will tell you, yes, it was worth it. It was absolutely 100%. But just trust the process. In the beginning, and I know I've said this before, you may gain 1 to 2 pounds before your body releases the water weight. The water weight, the first 2 weeks, I would give or take, just depending on your particular system and how bad your insulin resistance and how pre-diabetic or diabetic you are. It's all going to determine how that releases from your body, because everyone's different, of course. But make sure that and don't get frustrated, because a lot of people do and they give up. Don't give up. Trust the process, because your cells are going to be filling with that water. It's basically what the water does is it just rushes to your inflammation, fills up the cells, and then releases. So, and that's where you see that big drop in weight in the beginning. Just know that that is water weight. That is not fat leaving your body. Another bonus, meal plan, meal prep helps with frustration. Absolutely helps with frustration. On my part, and I'm just talking like I just do proteins. I do beef, chicken. I prep that. So I always have that ready for lettuce wraps, recipes. There's tons of recipes. Really good nutritional dense foods that are on the web, that are in magazines, that you can go to the store and get a low carb magazine with all kinds of recipes in it. And there's all kinds of resources here on YouTube. I'm telling you, you can do this. Most importantly, I did not mention this on my last how to start low carb. If you haven't checked that video out, I'll put it up here. When you're starting low carb, do not go to the grocery store and buy up $200, $300 worth of groceries. Start small. Get the bare necessities. Only because if you go out and buy all this food, you won't be eating as much as you think you are, okay? You'll be eating more nutritional dense, more foods that make you fuller. So you won't be eating as much. Don't go buying all these groceries, unless you have a large family, of course. Buy all these groceries that are going to go to waste, because that is the first, I think that's the first people make mistakes. They're like, I get this list of things and they buy like 2 of each. You know what I mean? And then they get home, they're like, oh my God, what do I do with all this? You know, it's like, it's very overwhelming. And that's one thing you don't want to do, is make it overwhelming when you first start low carb by any means whatsoever. So start slow, get back to the store if you need to, get some more avocados if you like those, extra virgin olive oil. Make sure you get good quality extra virgin olive oil. It may cost a little bit more. It's well worth it. If you like coconut oil, I cook in coconut oil all the time. I also use avocado oil. That's really good for a lot of different recipes. Make sure you get some whipping cream in there, because that helps with all of your recipes to bring them all together. If you like cheese, get cheese. Another tip, I added things into my diet for fat, for good fats. Pecan, I have a list here. Salmon, fatty fish, actually gives you more energy. I don't know about you, whoever's watching this. Fat is not a solid substance, okay? So if you're not eating enough fat, your body has a hard time absorbing vitamins A, D, E, and K. It also helps with fullness. If you're not getting enough of that, you know, and I'm not saying eat 70%, 20 to 30% of your meals should be at least some fat. Start out slow and easy, okay, with it. Because if you're used to eating, you know, low carb or high carb, I can't even say it, high carb, low fat, low calorie diet. See, that was even hard for me to say because I'm not used to saying that. But if you're used to eating that type of empty calories in your meals, putting a whole bunch of fat into your diet all at once would not be a good thing in the restroom, okay? So take it easy on that part is what I'm trying to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think I'm going to name it, I know what I am and I know what I'm not, okay? When I say that, I know myself so well now with just trying so many different diets, foods, experiments on myself. I know who I am and I know who I'm not. And if you could come to that point, it's just such a freedom with yourself and getting towards your goals. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.